Hello, this is Jennie from Designs with Paper. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel today. I have an unboxing video for you, so get comfy and let's get crafty. For Christmas, I was given a Spellbinders Glimmer hot foil system and some hot foil plates to go with it. And I have not opened it, I have not used it. The only thing I've done is cut the tape on the box. So now we are going to check this out together. It comes packaged pretty well. There's no shifting or rattling around in the box. That's nice. All of the pieces and parts are individually wrapped. Great for the machine, probably not as great for the environment, but I'll figure out what to do with the plastic later. First piece that I have unwrapped here is the hot part. This is the part that you put the plates on to get hot. It also comes with a magnetic handle to remove the hot plates, a power cord. It comes with 2 rolls of heat foil, a gold and a silver, and it comes with the green silicone mat that you need. It comes with, or the green plate that you need, the silicone mat for your hot dies, and it comes with a clear plate so that you can do letterpress techniques. And my system also came with a free hot foil plate. So we're going to plug it all in and get going. You just slide that piece into the top, or the base rather. I'm not even using good words. There is a power switch in the back by where you plug in your cord. The plates I will be using are Everyday Sentiments 2, the Autumn Leaf Border, the Mini Sincere Sentiments, the solid plate from Pinkfreshstudios, and the Diagonal Stripes plate from Pinkfreshstudios. So the solid plate allows you to do the negative image. So that's what we're going for. So I have 3 different white cardstocks. I have a Neenah 80 pound, I have a Georgia Pacific 100 pound, and a Stampin' Up! Heavy Duty 110 pound. I'm going to try them all. The first the first heat plate I'm going to use is this one that came with my machine. It's kind of a filigree oval with a happy birthday sentiment, and I'm going to start with the gold foil. You put the heat plate down with the decoration side up. You put the foil shiny side down, and then your paper on top of the foil. You add the green plate, and you wait until that bottom light stops flashing. That is your timer light. And then you run it through your die cut machine. I am not going to use my die cut machine because it makes my camera shake. So, the second plate I'm going to use is this border leaf plate. And you will see I make a bit of a boo-boo. I have put the leaf border down onto the heat system. I've added the foil and my green plate. Notice there's no cardstock in there. Yep, no cardstock. This cardstock I used the first time is the Neenah 80 pound. It did a pretty good job. There's a little bit of overfoiling, but I didn't center it very well. Okay, so here's when I realized, whoops, I just foiled this leaf bordered plate onto my heat plate for my machine. So whatever, now I have a fancy decoration on my plate. I will put another sheet of foil down and a piece of cardstock and the green plate and wait for my timer light to stop flashing and run it through my die cut machine. This piece of paper is the Stampin' Up! 110 pound, and it did a really good job. There was a little tiny bit of overfoiling, but nothing major. So the next thing I'm going to do is use this Pinkfreshstudios solid image plate and some Georgia Pacific 100 pound cardstock. This is the cardstock that you can run through your copy machine. It was just another white cardstock I had in my craft room. I didn't put the plate on yet, probably should have. Look how pretty that leaf banner is, though. Oh, leaf border, sorry. It's so pretty. Now that my timer light has finished flashing, now I'll put the mat down. Probably should have done it sooner. And I will run it through my die cut machine. The Georgia Pacific cardstock was not the best. Yeah, we'll figure that out. I'll have to do some experimenting. But yeah, it did a terrible job. So I am going to take this other leaf foil piece and add a piece of, I think this one was the Stampin' Up! Cardstock, and put the green heat plate back on top of it and run it back through my die cut machine. And every time I pull it out of my die cut machine, I'm plugging it back in so that it's getting ready while I'm moving on. Okay, so next I'm pulling out these sentiments, and I am going to just line them up on the hot plate with the word side up, and then I will put the foil over the top, and then I am going to add a piece of Nina 80-pound cardstock onto it. Each of these word dies that I have also came with, I keep calling them dies, each of the word plates that I got came with a sentiment strip as well. So yeah, that did not work well at all. You saw that in Georgia Pacific. It did not look good at all. Anyway, the word dies or the word plates came with banners that can foil a banner around the sentiment as well, which I thought was pretty cool. I have not tried that out yet today. I am going to run that Georgia Pacific cardstock with the negative back through, and this time I'm putting a piece of just regular cardstock as a shim, just to see what that does for it. And now that it's ready, I will put it back through my die cut machine and plug it back in so it can start getting hot and ready again. And I think that it probably would have been okay if I had used a shim in the first place. But still, that Georgia Pacific just is not taking the foil very well at all. It will not be a cardstock that I use for foiling in the future. So again, I have 3 pieces of white cardstock. I have some colored cardstock. All of the colored cardstocks are from Stampin' Up! And I have a piece of vellum, which is just vellum from, gosh, like the office supply store, I think. It's been in my stash forever. I haven't ever finished using the whole package. I am going to use this oval oval heat plate again. And right there, I put the word die on the wrong direction. Yeah. See, this is how come I play around first before I try and make things. Because if I was trying to make this a card and messed it up, I would be really annoyed. But since I'm just experimenting, I'm not annoyed, right? Okay, so I think this is a piece of Nina cardstock, and I have my green plate on top of my foil machine. And once that timer light stops flashing, I will run it through my Spellbinders die cut machine. But this time I've put a piece of cardboard, just a cardboard shim. It's a cereal box, piece of a cereal box on top to see what that does. And this is when I noticed that I put the the phrase on wrong. I am going to do the leaf border plate again. I'm using silver this time, and I'm going to try it on the vellum. And I'm going to put the cardstock or the cardboard shim down underneath the green plate just for because. And I will go ahead and run that through my die cut machine and bring it back and plug it in so that it can warm up some more. And I got to tell you, I was really nervous because it's so wrinkly right there. I was afraid that it had messed everything up. Yeah, spoiler alert, it didn't. So the oval is still not centered. I'm going to have to tape that oval into place, and the words are upside down. So I'll have to figure out something to do with that. I have decided to use the Diagonal Stripes heat plate. This is from Pinkfreshstudios, and the silver foil. And I'm going to try it on colored cardstock. So I've put the die side up, the foil side down, shiny side down, and I'm just got a piece, it's a quarter of a sheet of Stampin' Up! Pink cardstock. I don't know what color it is, it's pink. It was in my stash. And check out how well it did on that vellum. So pretty. So pretty. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, now that my timer light has stopped flashing, I can run that through my die cut machine. And obviously I have sped this up substantially, and I have edited out a lot of the fiddly stuff. One thing I've noticed is that these solid plates are a little bit too heavy for that magnet tool, and they're really hot. I tried just picking it up. It's really hot. So I want to take this sentiment. It says happy birthday, and I'm going to take some of this silver scrap and a piece of black scrap cardstock. Now this is a really heavy cardstock, so it's probably the Michaels Recollection brand heavy cardstock that I bought for a different project a while ago. And I have a little piece left over in my stash. I like to use a heavyweight when I'm doing word dies for sentiments. But it was small. I didn't want to use that big piece of black cardstock on my desk to see how that worked. But look how pretty that die is. So the plate is, the diagonal stripes are. I think that it foiled really well on that colored cardstock. And I was nervous because I had heard that that the foil didn't adhere to colored cardstock very well. But that Stampin' Up! Cardstock took it like a champ. Okay, so here is my happy birthday word die, and I am going to take that solid hot plate or heat plate again, and that leaf border die, and a piece of, I think this is it's either Neenah or Stampin' Up! Again. I decided not to worry about trying that Georgia Pacific out again because it just did not work. And the black cardstock for my word foil plate, I don't know what to call those. I keep calling them dies, but whatever. It did a pretty good job. It did a really good job. I have heard that colored cardstock just doesn't work as well, and I am not experiencing that on my end here. Now, I ran that foil through with the shim, and some of the foil kind of stuck to the cereal box shim. Yeah, whatever. I think what I need to do is cut my foil just to the size of the cardstock I'm using, and then I won't have that problem. But also, look how pretty. Holy cow. And I will, at the end, have some close-ups. Okay, so this is that Mini Sincere Sentiments, and it has like a ton of word dies in it. And I'm not exactly sure how to... It took me... I added a lot out here. I decided to do half of them and pick them up with some painter's tape, and then I realized they were on backwards, and it was a whole thing. But I now have the word dies on properly, and I've got the foil down properly, and I have a half of a sheet of Neenah cardstock because a quarter sheet was not going to get all of those words. And I have put my cereal box shim and my green heat Glimmer plate, let's call it the Glimmer plate, in there, and run it through my Spellbinders Platinum machine. And because of the tape, it really stuck. And while that one was warming up, I got the other dies already, the other words already to go through. They're on a piece of tape. I will be using the silver foil for this half of the sentiments. And same thing, I will use half of a sheet of Neenah Solar White Classic Crest 80 pound. With my cereal box shim and my green Glimmer plate. And while that is heating up, I'm going to attempt to peel the, because the painter's tape has now gotten hot, it's a little stickier than it used to be, right? But they did a really good job. There's a little bit of overfoiling, which comes off just fine with an eraser, like the Tombow Mono Sand eraser. Comes off just fine. So I'm not super worried about the overfoiling. Plus, I will be using a die to cut out those sentiments anyway, so no big deal. Here is the second half of those word dies. And then I've decided that since I've already got the foil out, I'm going to use my solid plate and do a reverse. So I will stick the reverse image of the foil down on that solid plate. I only have a quarter sheet of the Neenah here, so I will not get all of those sentiments. But it's an experiment today, right? And all of these sentiments I can stick into the pocket with the foil plate and have them when I need them. So it did a really good job again. A little bit of overfoiling, nothing I can't work around. No big deal. And I will do the same thing with the silver foil that I did with the gold and the solid plate. What is it called? The heat plate. I've got to find the right words for these things. So I am really impressed with how much of the foil stuck to that cardstock. The in between the sentiments where the tape was, it's a little bit iffy, but I think it's good enough to use. I totally will use it. At least most of them that are all there because it was a smaller piece of cardstock. So I want to try this oval again, and I want to try and get the words in the middle of it upright, and I'm going to try it on that blue cardstock, and that is also a Stampin' Up! Cardstock. I don't use a ton of colored cardstock as much as I did when I first started making cards. So I have quite a bit of it left from my Stampin' Up! Days. Okay, so we're going to go with the gold foil here. And I have the word die up correctly. I have the oval die up correctly. I've got the foil on. I've got the cardstock on. I will put my cardboard shim and my green glimmer plate on top and wait for my timer to stop flashing and send that through my Spellbinders platinum die cut machine. I will have to figure out how to do that on camera without shaking my whole desk. Yeah, so that you can see how that works. But I have been running it through super slow, through and back, so that it gets a little bit of pressure on both directions. And that turned out really well. I still didn't center it very well, but I think I can trim that down and make a nice card front out of it. So here I'm going to use that reverse again. I am going to take that solid plate from pinkfreshstudios, and I am going to take that gold foil that I just pulled off the blue cardstock and add it to black cardstock. And this black cardstock, I think, is from Joann's. No, this one's still Stampin' Up. This one's still Stampin' Up. The Joann's cardstock is really lightweight. I don't think it would work at all. The one thing about the Stampin' Up cardstock is it's really smooth, and so I think that's why the foil is sticking to it. But I don't know. It could just be that I am okay with how it looks, and maybe it would look better on a different cardstock. I don't know. But even this solid image, like you can see by the release paper that not all of it came off, but it looks pretty nice. I'll use that for a card somewhere. It's a birthday card. I can make that work. Okay, and I think the last one I've got going on in here is some more of the reverse from the silver sentiments. And it came off, almost all of it came off. You can see in between where the tape was, but here are the card pieces that I made just practicing with this foil. I think in general it did really well. The Georgia Pacific cardstock is a no-go. The vellum was awesome. I can't believe how well it came off on that vellum. The colored cardstock did really well too. So yeah, I don't know. I am going to turn all of these things into cards, and eventually I will get them up in a video, or I'll get them over onto Instagram. I'll figure out how to use that. I'll figure out how to use that. And all of these sentiments, I'm just going to stick in the pockets with the hot foil plates so that I have them when I need them. You know, they're usable. I can trim around where the tape stuck in between those, easy peasy. I'll make it work. You watch, I will make it work. This one is not perfect. It looks a little bit like hammered gold or hammered bronze, which I kind of like that look anyway. So winner, winner, chicken dinner. I wish I had centered that one better. I think I need to tape things together so they don't slide around as much. But all in all, it was a fun play. I learned a little bit about what not to do, like, don't forget to put the cardstock down. Yeah. Maybe tape things in place so they don't slide around. Like some of these sentiments are upside down, so pay attention to what you're doing. But it's all good fun, and it's paper, and it has two sides. Thanks so much for stopping by my channel today. I hope you enjoyed this unboxing video. I have a couple other videos here for you and a subscribe button. If you have not done so already, I would love it if you subscribe to my channel. Have a fabulous day.